Welcome, everybody, to another Wednesday night product review show. I appreciate everyone joining in, and I know this is still a fairly new, different location than what we've been doing them for a year. I really appreciate everyone joining in over here at YouTube. And I just want everyone to make sure that you subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so that you will be notified when we're doing a product review, which, let me tell you, it will be next Wednesday also. We do them every Wednesday. We go over stuff. I'll ask the crowd sometimes. If you will, up underneath there, you'll see the different tabs that says videos, lives, all that. If you'll go under live, I believe that is the proper place, then you'll be able to see the comment bar on the side where you can ask questions. We'll answer them. Go through it that way. And as always, what we're going to do is our actual product review. I'll go from start to finish because I take that little segment out of this show and I put it on our on our website so that people, when they're looking at this particular product, that they can see it. Okay. And today is a little special product review. It is a brand new item for us. I have hinted in the past that we had been working on something like this, but this is a brand new item and I'm excited. It goes along with a lot of things we've got going on. So without further ado, let's just get our product review done. Then I can answer and I'll go over it again if needed. It makes no difference to me, but I want to answer every question and or comment that you put in up here. Okay. So without further ado, let's just get right into the product review. Welcome, everybody. Today, we're going to have a product review of a brand new item to us, and here it is. This is a 12-inch high-carbon steel rod, and as just like all of our products, I'm going to start with the packaging, then we're going to go over the product, and I'm going to demonstrate to you how to properly use a steel and the purpose of why you need a steel. If you're into any kind of cooking, or if you even have a knife in your kitchen, this is something that you'll need. And it'll last for years if you properly take care of it. So I'll even go over maintenance, and we'll start on the different types of that needs to be done so that you know how to take care of it for years. So let's start with the packaging. We have a hang tab at the top. It is a really nice cardboard packaging with a hard plastic cover over the top. Very attractive coloring on it, as you can see right here. Okay. We can turn it over. There's our UPC. There's our Trust Your Butcher seal of approval. And then just some little list of some stuff. And I'll read through that real quick so you kind of get an idea of what a steel is. This is a 12-inch high carbon steel with 360 degrees of sharpening capabilities. It's the perfect length to home all knife styles. It's got a durable poly handle with a finger guard. That way you won't cut yourself when you're using it. It's got a built-in hanging loop on it so that you can hang it when not in use, or you can put it back into the package for good safekeeping. Our sharpening steel is for all types of knives. You can use this on your kitchen knives, a household type knife, a sporting knife, a fillet knife, even a pocket knife. It can even be used on a grunton style blade. As long as it's not a serrated blade, this steel will work on it. Okay. Now let's show you how you open it up. It is a simple slide out. We'll slide this out. And here's the steel itself. And it does come to where the steel even has a little sheath over the top, okay? And that's for shipping, because a proper steel is magnetized, and that is just an extra protection layer to make sure that nothing happens during the shipping and it can lose its magnetism, okay? Now, what makes ours really unique and different, and it's cool to me, okay? Right on the blade, you can see our little logo right there. Isn't that something? Yeah. But now the blade itself, I'm sorry, not the blade, the rod itself, the the edge, most steels you'll see with a grit going straight down it, okay? And that has a purpose. And then a diamond steel kind of has a porous all the way around it and everything. So what we've done is it's not a diamond coat, okay? But we do have both of them on this right here. Let me see if I can get it up close to you and see if you can actually see. There is, it's hard to see the striations in it, but it does have both types of coatings on the steel so that you'll pick it, it'll pick up properly and use it in a good sense for when you're wanting to use it. Now, how to check to see if your steel has magnetism is take a knife, place it right there on top, and you can, if you can, as you're barely pulling it off, if it's trying to stick to it, your steel has it. It needs it to properly work, okay? Now, this is how we tell people to use a steel. I'm going to back up just a little bit so you can see it. Hold it in your hand firmly. You don't need to just let it flop around, but hold it still. Take your knife, and at the, what we tell people is at an angle, okay, of about, picture a quarter underneath the back side of this blade right here, okay? That would be the angle that is needed. And what it is, this is a 15-degree angle on our blades. So, well, yeah, that's a 15-degree angle on our blades. And so what we're going to do is you're going to hold it right there, okay, at that angle, and use a complete, use your wrist and use a complete strike down, okay, all the way down one side. Flip and go to the other side while remaining at about a quarter's different, I'm sorry, a quarter height off of it. And you're going to go back down on that side. And you're going to do it back and forth, okay? It's not a speed game. These steels work at whatever speed you're doing it. So you don't have to go real fast like a professional does. And you'll hear a sound that whenever it's working, it is the proper sound. It's not going to be this sound. You don't want to just bang it, okay? You want to properly use the steel. You hear that? I call that music for me, okay? And what you're going to do is use the steel properly by going back and forth. If you are not comfortable of going into your hand, a steel is not directional. You can do it this way and put it on the table and do it this way. It does not matter, okay? But just remember, you want that angle, and then that's how you use it. You don't want to be bringing the steel to the knife. Use the knife and just very delicately go back and forth. You do not, I'm going to go real slow. See, I'm going to the whole distance, back and forth. That's all it takes to use a steel. Now let's explain real quick how to maintenance and care for them. After a lot of use, a steel, the grooves on it will get caked up with metal fibers from your blade and probably oils and grease off of the blade. Take a piece of emery cloth, wrap it around it, and clean it off this way, okay? Just swipe it back and forth with a piece of emery cloth, then wash it in warm soapy water. Do not dishwasher this, okay? Warm soapy water, dry it off, let it air dry, and put a light coat of oil on it. That's all it takes. That'll keep it from rusting forever. This is a carbon steel product, okay? I'm trying to think if there's anything of major importance that can be covered. That's all I can think of for the review itself, okay? This carbon steel blade can, like I said, can be used on any kind of knife. It is new to us. Stores are ordering them presently. Not all of them have them at this time, But if you go to your local barbecue store and ask them where the butcher barbecue tools, grilling supplies are, check out and ask them if they've gotten in the knives and the steels. And I know that they'll want them if you ask for it. But this also can be purchased on our website also under the tabs of grilling tools and supplies. All right, folks, that was pretty well a simple review. If we have any questions on the usage, any questions on how to maintenance a steel, and now let me explain a little bit when you need a steel, why you need a steel, and that is a knife will come in from us extremely sharp, and you'll use it dozens of times before you need it. But what a blade does, it's setting exactly like this. If you could pull a microscope up and look at it, it's like this. As you use it, it's going to go to one side or to the other side with that tip, with that fine edge, okay? Then it's going to feel like it's not cutting properly. So what a steel does, by holding it at that bevel, what it does, it'll pull it back to the very top, okay? If you could microscopically look up this edge, okay, there is a whole bunch of teeth on there. And what it does, it pulls them back straight. And it usually will go to one side or the other, like I stated. But if those teeth go to doing that, that's why it feels very dull. And it will not even cut through hot butter. So use a steel. I am not a fan of those very abrasive steels. Those that like a pure diamond steel, I'm not a fan of that. Or a hard abrasive stone. If you don't know how to use a sharpening stone, it is worse than not using a steel at all. Okay. And you'll know when it's time, and that is for a whole nother podcast or a whole nother review there on how to use a stone. But on a steel, like I said, hold it at about a quarter width apart, okay, and come straight down, okay. Flip to go to the other side, quarter width apart, and go straight down. You see, I'm not even going to the end of this one because the steel is so much longer than the blade. But like I said, don't move the steel around. You just want to very smoothly back and forth, back and forth. That's all it takes to properly use a steel. The steel is our new product. I see we keep getting a few more people on. I appreciate you jumping over here to YouTube real quick. And I explained how to care for it. I see a few questions jumping in. Let me jump into these Q&As over here real quick. Let's see what we got. Greg Klein, ready to roll. Hey, Greg, welcome to the show. And yes, I think he's trying to beat Grant out for the free giveaway at the end of the show. There's Grant. I knew he'd be here real quick. Grant, you better be ready for your fast fingers. Greg's on the warpath. He's ready to go. Sugba, welcome. I'm glad you're over here on YouTube. Thank you for joining us. Mark Ellis, hello, sir. We appreciate it. Thank you. I appreciate you joining in. Billy Holland, good evening, David. Good evening to you, Billy. If you've got any questions about this, let's just ask. B. Hilliard, any preferred oil to treat the steel? I've always just been a mineral oil person. That's what I've used. What I have found in circumstances where it's been an emergency and I had to just use a vegetable oil, okay, it serves its purpose, but I do like to go ahead and wash that off because that gets very sticky, especially over time. I'm not a fan of that sitting on it. Definitely not a petroleum oil, obviously, simply because you're going to be using it with food. But mineral oil works a good process. Great question too, by the way. Chad, hello, Chad. Welcome. Hope you're up and about this evening. Mark, good evening. Mark, we appreciate you listening in. Thanks for joining and asking questions. We're running short on questions already. Doggone it. I was kind of hoping to have a whole bunch about this. I guess everybody knows and understands how to use a still. Did I explain it well enough to everybody? Please jump on and let me know. Um, Using a still, don't be scared of it. And like I said, it's not directional. You can put it upside down, put it right on a table, and use it. So don't be afraid to do it just because um, folks that use them their whole life, like that, it's not a speed game, like I said. Go very slow. It does the same purpose. All it's doing is pulling those teeth, like I explained, back to the center. That's what it boils down, or what it's doing. Greg, yes, good. I'm glad I explained it. Thank you. I appreciate you chiming in and telling me. Um, let's see. Grant, get ready, Greg. He is throwing the gauntlet down. For those that are new to us, since we've been on YouTube always doing this, and we've switched over to, since we've been on Facebook doing these product reviews, and we've now switched over to YouTube, what we do is we take the product, whatever it is we're talking about that day, and I have a trivia question. And the trivia question, the winner will get the product. So tonight's not only going to get a steal, but I've been kind of using this knife. I really can't sell it as brand new because I've been putting it on a steel. And so I guess we'll just give away both of them when the trivia question comes up. So I just want everyone to know. And I'll think of something real quick. I had it, and I'm going to be honest with you. I let the cat out of the bag a while ago. So if you listened to the product review, you'll know the answer to it. Let's see. Billy Holland, I always use a steel. We'll be looking for yours at the Owl's Nest. Well, Billy, thank you. Yes. Yeah, let Steve know. Okay. Bree Soto, hello from Osceola. I'm sorry if I messed that up, but welcome to the show. We appreciate it. Thank you for joining in. If you have any questions tonight, we're talking about our sharpening steel. I'd love to help answer questions on using it, maintenance, care, our product. If it isn't our product, I'll help out with whatever we have to. Let's just answer questions and get everybody cooking better. Bring it on, Greg. Look out. Here we go. I'm in need of a great fillet knife too. Well, I know that this is a boning knife. It's not a true fillet knife, but it will work. Yeah. Steve Ralph, saw you on Barbecue Pit. Yes, sir. That is correct. We did several of them shows, 5 or 6 of them over a couple different seasons. That is correct. I appreciate you joining in, and like I've been saying, this is going to grow on YouTube, and that's what we're wanting. It seems to be a good place for us to talk about all of our product reviews. We've got some coming up here pretty quick. That's going to be either our rubs or sauce or our injections. So we'll be talking about food products also. All right. Brisket injection for Wagyu brisket. I do for me. Hi there. I do for me. I'm not sure what, are you saying that we have it? Are you asking which ones I prefer? Man, clarify that statement. Brisket injection for Wagyu brisket. Clarify that real quick and I'll be happy to answer it for you, okay? I'm pretty sure you're asking me which one do I use for Wagyu brisket. If that's the case, I would say it's more according to 2 things. First thing is, what quality of a Wagyu brisket do you have? Do you have a standard Wagyu brisket? Yeah, and I see right here. Yes, that's what he's asking. That's what I figured. Thank you. I'll go on with this because that's what I figured. If you've got a standard Wagyu brisket like an A6, A5, A7, those briskets in particular, I would use our prime brisket injection. I really like it. I think that does a great job on it. If you got one of the higher grades of like an A9 or larger, A9, 10, 11, 12, those right there, I switch and go over to our original brisket injection. The original does not have the extra beef flavor added into it. because I'm not wanting to cover up the richness of what a Wagyu brings to the table. I hope that answers your question, but real simple to me. It's according to the grade. Oh, and the second thing is how you're cooking it. If you're cooking a Wagyu brisket hot and fast, I would use the original. If you're cooking it the old low and slow way, 12, 14, 16 hours. And the reason I say this is because as a brisket dries out, I don't care if it's Wagyu or if it's a choice or prime grade, it needs extra flavoring. I would flip back to a prime grade, the prime brisket injection. I do for me. I hope that answers your question. If you think of anything else, man, please jump right in and ask. I'll be happy. I don't only want to answer questions here, I want to explain so that you understand, so that down the road you understand how to make those decisions yourself and why I chose what I chose. Retro Thunder. Hello, David. Loving the Barbecue Champs class. Well, thank you. That is a great class. We put it all out there. It's an online barbecue class where we just showed you everything we do for competition cooking. It's the easiest way to say it. It's out there. Miss Shimmy is my brand. Okay. If I'm not mistaken, that's a pretty high grade Wagyu brisket. So yeah, I would probably use our original brisket injection for that. Thank you. Oh, and thank you. Yeah. Greg Klein, do you have a favorite competitor on Barbecue Pitmasters? A favorite competitor? Um, you mean that we went against? Gosh, yeah, honestly, they were all great people behind the scenes and cooking and chatting and everything because we would film all day long and most of the time we was there the day before. So most all those guys were great. I really can't imagine not wanting to cook with any of those folks again. Eric from California was great. Um, I don't mean California. I apologize. Georgia, he was great. I know everybody wants me to throw mud at Michael, but Michael is a great cook and a great guy. He has his way and I have my way, but that doesn't make him not a great cook. And it made good TV. And let's be real, neither one of us went at each other as much as they showed. It's just that it had to make TV somehow, and that's what they did. Pig Little, he brought in that big cooker one time when we was cooking whole ham and buffalo short ribs. Oh man, they were great. Gosh, there are just so many great cooks we cooked with on that show. Jamie Gear was on one of them. Oh gosh, Tim Grant with True Bud. All those guys are great. They really are. So it's a great question, but do I have a favorite? Man, now I really don't. They're all great competitors and great cooks. Retro, any new products coming out? Yes, this one right here. It's out right now. And in a week or two, I'll probably bring something else out. We are working on about 6, and I said 6 new rubs at this time. I will not dive into anything more than that right now, but there is several flavors of some rubs that we will be working with or be showing. So stay in touch. What's your favorite knife that you sell? Well, I wheel a boning knife, a 6-inch semi-stiff curved boning knife, as well as most anything else. This is my favorite go-to knife. I can slice a brisket. Don't get me wrong. I do keep that in my trailer, and I do use that to slice a brisket. But when I'm traveling and cooking in other parts of the country, and all I do is take my knife pack, or if I can't fly with or something, I make sure that I ship ahead a boning knife so that I at least have that. That is the most versatile for me that I use, and that's a 6-inch curved boning knife. Great question. I really like that one. Steve Ralph, what's your favorite barbecue to cook? Um, I'm assuming you're talking type of protein. I really like ribs. Ribs is my favorite. The most common that I cook, and I wouldn't call it barbecue. I call it grilling. And that's a ribeye steak. I mean, good gravy. Who doesn't like a ribeye? But I don't call that barbecue. To me, that's grilling. Barbecue to me is smoking more than grilling. So for barbecue, it would probably have to be ribs. Second would probably be brisket. I like that. Great question, Steve. I appreciate you asking. Greg Klein, are you considering any glazes of any type? Seems like there are a lot of new ones on the market. Greg, yes, I have considered that. Yes, I have looked at it. The problem with glazes for me, just me, is I don't use them on a regular basis. And I know it's terrible for me to say, but it's hard for me to sell something I don't use. Have I considered it? Yes, I have. I've got several recipes of some great rib type glazes, and I'm not saying I'm not going to come out with something, but it is something I have considered. I've got these rubs are that I talked about a while ago. The rubs are first and foremost, in my opinion. When they come out, you'll understand and see why. But there's just a lot of good glazes out there. Don't get me wrong. I know there's a lot of great rubs out there too. So I would want to look at what would make mine different. Okay. I wouldn't want to bring the same thing out that three other people have. It needs to be different or it's not butcher barbecue. Okay. But I love your question. I really appreciate it. Um, we've been on 28 minutes. We usually go anywhere from 20 to 30, 35 minutes. And without further ado, I'm going to give you a trivia question. And the first correct answer on the live chat will get this sharpening steel and this 6-inch knife. So, and I gave you a hint a while ago. Okay. First correct answer. Everybody get your keyboard ready. Are we ready? Good. Okay. The question is for the butcher barbecue knives. I looked over at the comments and that's just not even funny. Not even funny, Billy. Oh, he's fast fingered. I didn't. New world record. New world record. The question was going to be, at what degree do we sharpen our knives at? Man, oh man. Billy had that down. Billy, 15 degrees is the correct answer. Look at that. Greg, you have been snuffed. Billy is the new king of the hill. That is awesome. Billy, after the show, what I want is you need to Facebook message me your address so we can get these to you. Do not put it on the airwaves here. We do not need that out. Okay. But I'm going to go on here real quick. I see something I want to address on the comments. Thanks, Billy. 15 degrees. Bree, you was correct, just not fastest. Okay. Okay. This is what I wanted to talk about. A quarter width. Okay. Mr. Hilliard, what that quarter width is the angle in which I recommend to tell people to hold the knife away from this steel. Okay. That is the quarter width, which would be approximately the 15 degrees. So it would be the same. But our knives, if you watch a bunch of our other product reviews, we say it on there, and I actually said it at the beginning of this show. The degree of the exact angle we sharpen these at is 15 degrees. The quarter width is the approximate angle for a standard person. If you're standing there trying to figure out what angle do I hold this at, because you don't want it at a 90-degree angle. You don't want it at 30-degree angle, okay, you want it up like this. That's why I said a lot of people don't understand the degree of the angle, and that's why I said approximately a quarter width. That's why, okay? Greg Klein got a fast start, so he's DQ'd. Wow, I love it. I love it. All right. Well, any other questions coming up? No questions was asked. Mark Ellis, no questions was asked. Oh, I see what you're saying about his 15-degree. But the funny thing is he said that, and there was only one other answer anyway. So, hey, yeah. Did you miss the question? Yes, Grant, you missed the question. And we have a new world record answer right here. Okay. Billy answered the question as I'm asking it. He knew it. So you guys better do some homework and study up, because I believe next week Billy is primed and ready for another freebie. That's all I've got right here, folks. I really, really appreciate y'all guys joining in. He said, damn internet licked him. I love it. All right. That's all I've got. Billy, please make sure you send me your information so we can get you the free products we promised. That's all I've got. And next week, we'll have another product review, 6:30 Central Standard Time, right here on YouTube. Thank you. Like our page, our YouTube page, and hit that bell. Hit the bell down in there so that you're notified when we put a post up that it's coming out. That's all I've got. Thanks.